For New Year's of this year, I decided that I was getting rid of my Apple Watch, and I decided that I had had enough of the hold that it had had on me, and I was going to get an Oura Ring because that was going to be less obtrusive. I was way more interested in my sleep, and I want to now check in with you because we're a good over 4 months later, and I want to tell you how I'm feeling about the Oura Ring. First off, if you like metrics, man, you are going to get it coming down at you like a thunderstorm because they are throwing all kinds of numbers at you. The top ones along the top of the Oura check-in every day is you've got your sleep and you've got your readiness and you've got your activity and you've got your heart and you've got your stress. So you've got all of these numbers coming in and you're trying to kind of decipher, and you're also trying to figure out how they all work together. Why can your sleep be high and your activity good, but your readiness is not so good? Like, shouldn't your sleep, if your sleep is good, your readiness should be good? And what about the whole stress thing? So I want to tell you how I'm feeling about it. So first off, hey, you know what? The ring is way less obtrusive than the watch, especially if you like to kind of get dressed up a little bit more. Like, you could just slide that ring on, and you know what? Hey, I've even had a couple people say that they just liked the ring and they didn't even know that it was an Oura Ring. So check on that. And even when I go to work, you know, I was kind of wearing 2 watches, look like an idiot, but just the ring, okay. So that was a bonus. Now, let me talk about getting used to the fact that you're going to go to sleep with this on. Okay, it's comfortable. Don't have to worry about that. I do, on the comfort side of things, I am finding that I wear workout gloves when I go to the gym and if I'm lifting now, just because I'm still recording my workout and I'm still checking my heart rate, and it does a really great job about that. But I find that just having the ring, typically I don't have any jewelry on when I'm working out. So I'm wearing workout gloves, and that's working for me. So I'm going to sleep at night and I'm lying there, and I really, really, really want to get a good score because that's the kind of person that I am. And so I'm doing my best, and I'm trying to do all of these things, like trying to have like good sleep hygiene, and I'm trying, like, you know, I'm cutting out caffeine earlier in the day, and I'm trying not to eat later in the night, and all of these things. And so then when I lie down to go to bed earlier than usual, I'm lying there and then I'm thinking, okay, how's this going? I'm breathing and I'm counting. And as the time is ticking by, I'm getting worried because how is this affecting my score? Because one of the things that they talk a lot about is latency. Well, your latency is how long it takes you to get to sleep. And if you're tired enough and if you're in the right mindset, you should be getting to sleep in like less than 15 minutes. But if you're not, all of a sudden your score is coming down. And that is stressing me out because I don't want my score to come down. So I'm like lying here, and like if Paul is even like, there's even a breath, I'm like, oh my God, just be quiet. Like I'm trying to sleep. Can't you see I'm trying to sleep? So I do find that the score part is kind of stressing me out. So I thought that maybe that would sort of subside, that I was going to get used to that, and you know, that was just like the initial stages. So let's move on from the sleep a little bit more, and let's move on to activity. So the activity, it takes into account like if you sat too long. It does measure your steps quite differently to the Apple Watch, by the way. Sometimes the same, but sometimes different, so you never really know. I can record my workouts. It's very good at guessing what you're doing working out. So it will mostly just know, like if you were running or if you were you know, walking, or you were doing a variety of things. It picks up on it quite quickly. It doesn't pick up so quickly on if you're just like sitting reading a book or reading the newspaper. It thinks you're having a nap. So sometimes you have to switch that. And you can come in and you can edit. But it is quite intuitive that way, and you're not setting like your Apple Watch, and setting, oh, that's a workout. That's I'm outdoor walking. I'm doing all these things. So that it's picking up quite well as far as that's concerned, and recording it. So your activity takes into account all of these different things, like were you active? How much recovery did you have? How much, like all of these different variables. And I'm going to put all of these things on the screen. Sometimes it doesn't exactly make sense to me, because it'll say pay attention to your recovery, but yet then your activity goal will be higher. So if I'm supposed to be paying attention to my recovery, why should my activity goal be higher? And getting to the activity goal or to the readiness, they determine whether you should get, like typically I'm a 10,000 step person, that's like my minimum thing, and I'm usually over, and sometimes it'll say, oh, you know what, you need to rest. Only 6,000 today. And I'm like, oh, wow, really? I'll still do 10, but never mind, 6. And then other days, oh, your readiness is optimal. 12,000 for you. I'm like, oh, man, really? I would have been fine with 10 today. But, these kind of things all come together supposedly to create a whole. The thing that is also not gelling with me so far is the stress. Because I can think that I'm just chillaxing. I can think that I'm just like, hey, you know what? This is just a great day. Nothing's really going on. And it's like, reflect, Nancy. What is put you in this state of engaged, heightened stress? I'm thinking, what the hell? Am I in stress? I didn't even think I was in stress. I'm stressed because you think I'm stressed. So a lot of this feedback is stressing me out. And I just don't know whether some of it is too much. If you're the kind of person that can take in all of these metrics and say, okay, wow, so this is how much REM sleep I had, and this is how much my breathing irregularity was, and here was my oxygen saturation, and this was my lowest heart rate, and maybe my body temperature, because all of these things are being tracked. My body temperature is up, but hey, I don't care about that. If you're the kind of person that can just look at all that and just say, all right, well, tomorrow's another day. Well, that's great, because, we are just in that stage of life where we're getting all of these metrics all the time. People are so interested in like biohacking and everything that we can do to optimize our health. And I think that's a good thing within reason, but you also have to think about what kind of a person you are. And I'm 63, and I really realized that I can be a little bit neurotic about these things. Like it can come and I can say, oh yeah, I don't care about that. But then I do care about that. And the problem with sleeping, as opposed to the Apple Watch, where they're saying, oh, you didn't get enough steps today, or you didn't meet your move goal, or you didn't, have your exercise minutes. Well, that's up to you. You can just change that. You can now add an extra 20-minute walk, or you can do a little bit, more of a workout to increase your caloric burn. But when it comes to your sleep, it's very, very difficult. You can't just change it, even if you have the best intentions to change it, because our sleep doesn't work like that. It's, I know that it's a work in progress, but the other night I had a terrible sleep, and I don't know why. I mean, I had even magnesium before I went to bed. I was just like relaxing. I'm not having screen time before I go to bed. I feel like I'm doing all of these things, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. Like you get the sleep that you're getting, and you get the score that you're not happy with. And I know that it's not all about the score. And for a lot of people, they don't care. But I know Katie, my daughter-in-law, she's feeling the same. She's told me that she likes to wear her Oura Ring, and we got them within like a week of each other. And it's stressing her out too. And she told me that she likes it. It's tracking her steps, so she likes that. She doesn't like to work out with it because she doesn't like it on her hand when she's lifting weights. But she doesn't even want to wear it at night right now because she just needs a break already, and she's only a few months in. Will's told me that he won't put it on until he's actually lying down to sleep, because if you're just relaxing or reading before bed, it thinks that you're trying to sleep, so your latency, that's increasing your latency, and your score is increasing, so that's not good. So I just feel like I need to find that fine line of taking in the information and appreciating it and putting it into perspective and wondering how these things are all meshing. Do I really want them to tell me that I'm stressed when I don't feel like I'm stressed, but maybe I should be conscious of it? Do I want them to tell me that I need to try to do all of these things better? And that was one of the things that was bothering me about the Apple Watch. I don't really want it to always be telling me that I need to be doing something better. And why can't I just let it go? Like, why can't I be like the Disney princess and let it go? But I can't, because that's just the kind of person that I am. So how am I feeling about the Oura Ring? I think that bottom line, you're getting your money's worth, because there is so much information to be had. You are going to be bombarded with information, and that's great. And you are paying for the app, and they're trying to connect you, and you're tagging, if you had a glass of wine or you had caffeine late in the day, and different Oura members are saying, oh, well, that's caused their heart rate to be higher, or this thing or that thing. And there's so many metrics, and that's great. Like, there is so much information to be gleaned from this ring that is useful, really, really useful. And somebody even told me that, it detected that they were going to come down with something before they even got it, because their body temperature was a few degrees above, and they actually ended up getting sick. And who would have known that ahead of time? Not that you could have changed it. So I don't know if I'm going to stick with the Oura Ring. I still am a little bit tethered to my Apple Watch, mainly because I like the timer option when I'm cooking. I like the fact that I can never find my phone, and if my kids are calling me, it's ringing. So I like those two features a lot, but yet I don't have my activity rings on the screen anymore. I've just kind of put that to the side, and I've kind of gotten over that. And hey, so if that was part of the experiment right there, that's a good thing. Do I think that you would like to get an Oura Ring? I think you might love to have an Oura Ring if you're the kind of person that can handle having an Oura Ring.
You can't handle the truth!
I'm not exactly sure yet that that's me. Tell me if you have an Oura Ring. Tell me if you're stressed out about the scores. Tell me if you can understand sometimes the metrics involved between activity and readiness and stress and sleep and heart. And because there's a lot there. So let me know in the comments. Hope you've liked the video. Give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.